Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back to the channel. We're continuing the Sherlock Holmes, the case of the silver earring playthrough on the channel. I am quite excited about what's happening next. We know the suspects, it's all coming together. Well, I should say that it is starting to take shape. If you guys aren't already, please do consider subscribing down below using the red button, and then also hit the notification bell next to it so you're notified when the next video goes live. 62% of you are not subscribed, so please be sure to subscribe because it is free, and then you get to also join this community that we're trying to build here. So thank you guys a lot. Let's head into the video. So here we go. We were told to look at the notes that Sherlock Holmes gave us, so let's take a look here. If we have some notes, I think it's these, right? The crime. So these are report on the investigation, the case of Sherringford Hall. Inspector in charge Lestrade, we also met Lestrade, who's sitting at the table right now, was slain by a single gunshot in his mansion, Sherringford Hall. Despite the presence of 100 witnesses, no precise testimony was obtained regarding the exact circumstances of this horrific act. There is a presumption of suspicion towards the daughter of the victim, Miss Lavinia Bromsby. Report of the Inspector Lestrade, 14th of October. Instrument of crime, the bullet extracted from the corpse of the victim corresponds to the caliber of the revolver found in Miss Lavinia Bromsby's purse. All of the witnesses agree that the sound of the shot originated at or near this very same doorway. Miss Lavinia claims that the victim personally gave her this revolver before the crime for the purpose of her protection against some unnamed threat. This account can be supported by the fact that these models are impossible to find on the continent where Miss Lavinia has spent these last years. Premeditation can be excluded if she is found to be the murderer. His strong unpopularity among his domestics was compensated by the attractive wages he paid them. Finally, the modus operandi doesn't correspond to the typical revenge killing by this or that Hindu sect, though these things do happen. The motive then must apply to his holdings or something quite personal. Another line of reasoning that points to Miss Lavinia Bromsby, according to H. Grimble, the partner of Sir Bromsby, her relationship with her father had become so strained that Sir Bromsby visited his daughter only once during these past 6 years. A local constable must contact Mr. H. Fowlett, the attorney of Sir Bromsby, in order to recover the essential parts of his last will and testament. It would be reasonable to suppose that only an expert marksman could have succeeded in making such a shot. The testimony of the group of cabmen who were in the ideal place to have observed such matters saw no one leave through the service door after the shooting and up until the time when one of the domestics locked it up from the outside. Stairwell indicates that no one ascended to that floor. Indicates that she noticed only 2 people absent from the ballroom during Sir Bromsby's arrival, Mr. Horace Fowlett, the victim's attorney, and Miss Lavinia Bromsby. The only person whose movements were unaccounted for at the time of the shooting is Miss Lavinia Bromsby, who has confirmed that he saw her standing at the threshold of the door. Can be the only reason for not charging her with murder. Okay, so this is the Scotland Yard report, involvement of Mr. Bromsby in any of the court cases and etc. Oh my god, how much bridge for the army. At the end of this project in 1874, he left his position with Salinger and found his own enterprise in Bombay. Thus, the army entrusted him with many contracts for constructing barracks and other types of work. In 1877, he was married to Carlotta. His business flourished and he hired a young accountant, Mr. Grimble, who later became Bromsby's personal assistant. Business enjoys great success. However, the fact that he has been awarded nearly all of the army's civilian contracts has aroused the jealousy and suspicion of other British businessmen in India. Poor working conditions and miserable wages. Death of his elder sister, he decided to return home and prepare the transfer of his business interests to England. He also invested his money in several cement factories, which permitted him to reduce his costs further and thus increase the profits. Okay, there are several cases where his name has been mentioned because of suggested fraud with his contracts and if ill usage of convict laborers at his factories. Such practices are common in London business circles, and his wealth allowed him to avoid scrutiny by the courts. I wish you good luck in this case, Mycroft. Okay, so that's a good amount of data that we got from the police report. I am quite interested to see.
All this is very interesting.
Yes, indeed.
According to the evidence, it seems that the shooter was not in the ballroom or the corridor. Where was he then?
Alright, we can talk to her.
Please, go right in.
Do we talk to people? I guess we can talk to this lad.
Well, Mr. Grimble, I didn't expect to see you here at this hour.
I am worried about Miss Lavinia, needless to say. I also thought I might learn something of interest about the investigation. This difficulty, if it persists, can do great harm to the business.
I am quite interested why this guy is so interested in our case, but let's see. Let's try to get some more information out of him.
Lavinia had rather strained relations, it seems.
Well, Sir Bromsby and Miss Lavinia have never got on very well. Of late, their distance had grown due to the influence of several...
Ooh, what incidents? I would like to know what incidents. Please ask about that.
What sort of incidents, precisely?
I do remember one instance in India, where Sir Bromsby attacked a friend of Miss Lavinia.
Okay.
Bromsby began cursing and thrashing the boy before his daughter's very eyes. Miss Lavinia took her friend's part and spoke to her father most rudely. There is no one in the whole of India who would have dared address Sir Bromsby in such a manner. For the entire
Okay,
day,
so there's a strain between the daughter
next
and the
day,
father.
He fired the carter.
Ooh,
But
okay.
despite these incidents, I am still sure that Miss Lavinia sincerely loved her father.
Interesting, interesting. There is a rift
I'm sorry,
between the
but I
daughter
have to go.
All right. I
daughter
shall-
and the father. Okay,
I
that's
shall
good.
remain here.
Alright, so they were talking about polo. That's just absolutely useless for us. Let's go back into the kitchen, because I want to check the cauldron again. I don't know. Is there anything here? I mean, the key to this game is pretty much wipe your mouse over everything. It is already
Me?
dead.
It is already quite dead, you know.
Oh, you frighten me. I have a case of the nerves, you understand. I cannot find my bottles.
Oh, what bottles? What kind of bottles?
On the table.
No, not those. That is a poor vintage. The 2 bottles that the old crap, God rest his soul, ordered up from London for the party. Both were
18-year-old
18-year-old
whiskey.
perfect for the digestion and the heart's sorrows.
So there's missing alcohol. I guess there's nothing else that we can really discover here. This is the room that we checked. There are gloves on the table now.
To whom does this belong?
Yeah, interesting. Okay, let's check every single room again, I guess.
A handbag of Lavinia Bromsby.
Okay.
I do not favour ransacking a lady's personal property, but I think she will be understanding.
So, let's unpack this bag then. So, we have a letter.
A programme for the London Opera.
So here we go, the letter. Dear Miss Lavinia, excuse my boldness and do believe in my most sincere condolences and honorable affections. I took care to forget my gloves at your mansion so that my visit to call on you would not invite any undue speculations or gossip. Sincerely and eternally yours, Lieutenant Harrington. Okay, so the guy left his gloves. So these belong to Harrington.
I feel quite ready to answer your questions now, Mr. Holmes.
Let's ask about the shot.
First of all, it is necessary for me to know your acts and your movements during this unfortunate event.
First I attended my appearance in the powder room.
Mhm.
Then, as my father requested, I was standing quietly just inside the ballroom. I powdered my face one last time, while everyone, including myself, was watching my father. Suddenly, I heard this noise from behind me, and then I saw my father stagger and fall. Oh, my dear lord. So I ran to his side and found that he was dead.
Let's talk about the
What
strained
was your
relationship. That's also
relationship with your
important.
father?
We barely saw or even wrote to one another for 6 years. But the father that met me upon my return was not the man I remembered.
Oh, okay.
Something in his eyes had changed. There was a wariness there, and perhaps even some unexplained anxiety.
He's being chased by someone or
Forgive
something,
me,
I
but
guess.
It seems Lieutenant Harrington has made himself responsible for your care.
Oh, he has proved himself to be most gallant and considerate. I have no friends here, other than Mr. Grimble. Mr. Harrington neither requested nor expected any recognition for his kind interventions, and was most attentive yesterday evening.
I suppose Sir Bromsby kept his papers in this drawer.
Jesus.
Watch out!
It's very loud. Oh, God.
God!
It must be one of Fowlett's inventions. Sir Bromsby mentioned...
Yeah, just casually talk, but there's a fire going on in the table.
to
Jesus.
protect his private documentation. I remember now that Fowlett has a unique passion for mechanizations and automatons.
Yeah, my method as in point and click on every little detail that it pops up. Like that one.
This bridge is quite impressive. It must have been a considerable undertaking.
Okay, the table.
This book has been marked. Let's examine it.
Medieval French art. This was the page that got marked, I'm assuming. The first examples of this art from now on named crude colored woodcuts date back to the first decade of the Middle Ages. At this time, there was neither any artistic nor other rationale for hiding one picture inside another. The motivations are sometimes subversive because certain subjects are forbidden to be artistically represented. Okay. There's a bunch of stuff in here that we just picked up. There's a letter here too. There's an image. Elephant. There's a...
I need something.
There is another ring.
A sonic symbol, no doubt.
So there's someone that got ripped out of this picture or just cut out of this picture.
It is the pieces of the English edition of the Indian newspaper.
Interesting. And a piece of book. Okay, let's take a look at what we found here. Fear not, I have not received any bad news from my friend, the customs official. I will see you then on the day after tomorrow. Yours, friend, Horace Fowlett. Okay, so they were planning something. They were about to announce something and then he got shot. Burnt paper with code. Okay, give me a moment while I go in closer. Remember, I still have the original of the puzzle. 55 is the number to be found by adding piece of newspaper, the Bombay Times probably, from 21/9/96. Piece of a book translated from French, Jean de something and Fa. Did we explore everything then? No, there's another.
With her grandfather, no doubt.
Okay, there's another image. Her learning how to shoot a gun with Grandpa. Okay, we got everything.
This message just came for me. 2 days ago, Mr. Horace Fowlett was seen leaving for
The North Country.
Graham, this is a detective from London. He would like to hear what Mr. Fowlett told you that night.
So let's talk about absence.
So Mr. Fowlett left?
Yes, he made his departure the day before yesterday, in the night. His place is full of baubles with springs and mechanisms. There have been explosions. Yes, upon my word, explosions. Well, the shutter on the barn had come loose and was beating about in the wind. I went out to set it straight in that moonless night. Then there he was. I saw him leaving. I shouted out, "Hey there, Mr. Fowlett." He waved and shouted something about leaving for the north for a fortnight. I couldn't quite make him out with all the wind and rain, but it seemed to me he left on some business matter. I think a fellow came to talk to him about something.
Interesting. We'll go check his house
Do you
then.
know a way into Fowlett's house?
Here's the key to the door that he left with my wife.
You say he had a visitor.
Oh,
The visitor's
I don't
gonna be
know, It
important.
seems to me I saw someone at his place at nightfall. But people often visited old Fowlett at odd times.
And now, Watson, if you could be so kind to return to the station and speak with the station master. Question him until you are satisfied that you have a detailed description of the party who took the last train to the north 2 days ago.
My pleasure.
Alright, so I'm assuming this house is the Fowlett residence or the Fowlett factory, so to say. Nice.
Word, I can't see anything.
Oh wow, this is quite interesting. Oh,
Fowlett liked his jests.
he just stood in front of a flamethrower. What a badass. Matchbox, okay, let's turn the light on then.
I need to be cautious.
There we go.
These items may contain traps, such as those found in Bromsby's office.
Okay, so we gotta be extremely careful with how we proceed here. So there's some shoes.
Size 6.
So it's not this guy, because we're looking for size 7 shoes, right?
It is a size 7.
Someone was here. Size 7, huh? Someone was here. Any books, perhaps? I'm worried to check these books, by the way. Something might happen, you know?
These books warrant a closer look.
Okay. Translated from the French Jean de La Fontaine, Fables. Okay, hold on a second. It's part of this book too, translated from French. Jean de La Fontaine, maybe? Fables could be. Villager and the Serpent. That's also from the note on the speech, no? Don't forget the villager and the serpent. So this is it. Charity is a virtue, but be careful towards whom there's no point showing it to ingrates who seal their own doom.
A pheasant and a serpent. The very symbols found on Sir Bromsby's speech.
Precisely, which is why I think that is key evidence. Let's go over to this table because there's a cup just sitting there.
What an odd...
Whoa! Yikeroonies, what is that? Why do you have that in your bedroom? Or in your house? That is just creepy, mate. No, don't look at it closely. Oh, okay, it's a puzzle. Oh my god, I hate clowns. I'm telling you, I hate clowns with a passion.
I need a token to play this automaton.
Okay, let's check these paintings though.
Are from the town of Epinal.
There's a deer in here though. Remember when we talked about how paintings are meshed together so that they hide things? I see some things in here.
There might be another drawing hidden among these pictures.
Yeah, I know.
Let's examine them carefully.
I am, mate. I already found the doe in the other one. What's in this one? That looks like a bear to me. Yeah, that might be a bear. So we have a doe, or like a reindeer, or a deer, and then a bear. Oh my god, that clown is just continuously there. And it's not helping that it's dark out. What do we see? What do we see? Some of you guys in the comments have already found it, but I am still struggling with this one. This one seems a bit difficult. Not quite sure what I'm looking for. Do you see anything? I don't see anything in this one. The only thing I could think of is some kind of like aardvark or something, just sitting here like a meerkat or something. Let's take that. Let's say it's some kind of bird, right? So we got reindeer, doe, toucan, bear, and then whatever the middle one is. I wanna. Oh, there's something on the floor. What is that?
Look, what's this?
You tell me, buddy. It's a wood toy. There's something on the floor here. What am I looking at? So that's the exit, I think, for the door. There's a bottle of whiskey.
Gin.
Gin, sorry.
Blood.
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 Can I take a test?
Blood. Blood.
Alright.
Blood.
Blood. Keep saying blood.
Blood.
These teacups are of interest to me, but apparently Sherlock doesn't care about
I
them.
need something.
Alright. Trying to see what this is.
White flaky ash.
So the guy who smokes those cherry packy cigarettes came here too. What is that? Why is it? Why is it there?
I need something.
What is that? Is that like a lantern? Maybe it is.
Ah, now I see better.
Let's check this chest. There's a chest here.
The blood was cleansed with this mop.
Okay. Interact with.
Closed.
Holy crap! What is this guy? It's like something out of It's out of Saw or something, man. There's some kind of game here. Oh my god! Don't tell me I have to play this.
Howlett created this device to most likely perfect his invention. These certificates come from different places. He must have travelled a great deal, particularly in South America. These are old award certificates from automation invention competitions.
So he is quite an inventor. Oh god. No, okay, so we don't have that something. Maybe it's a screwdriver that's just stuck in the window. No. Okay. Is that Louis Descartes? Might be Descartes on his wall. The guy who found the third.
The pillow is missing.
Okay, that's an interesting observation. What if he doesn't sleep with a pillow like I don't sleep with a pillow.
Greasy substance.
Huh.
Very interesting.
Grease balls. Can I use a test tube and check this? No, I can't. Still curious to understand.
He's not tall and appears to be quite obese.
So he's a short, stumpy man. Oh dear, oh dear. I think I solved it, guys. I think I solved it. 55 is supposed to be the number, just like Sudoku, straight across and straight down, I believe. So let's take a look here. 8 of 5 is 13, 16, 23, 29, 35, 44, 46, and then 54. So this is a 1, but it needs to be a white one because it needs to fit the pattern. 3, 4, 8, 15, 23, 30, 33, 42, right? 42. So in order to make 55, we need 13. So it needs to be something brown and white. Wait, if there's 2 openings, it's going to get difficult because it might switch things up. Okay, this one is a 1. So 2, 3 is 5, 10, 20, 28, 34, 37, 45, and then 45, and then 53. So it's a 2, it's a brown 2, which is right here. 50, 52. We solved it. There we go. Oh, there's lag. As soon as I solved the puzzle, it's loading. It means I got it right. And there we get the token, right? Jawohl! We did it! We did it. Oh dear, here we go with the most hated machine. Ah, this is gonna be oh, he has red eyes too. Goodness me.
What card do you play?
Yikes, you have a weird voice, mate. Ace. All aces, so possibly another ace?
Place the correct card.
Okay. So we have a 3 of heart. What is that? Screw it. Gonna try this one. Okay, that was the correct one. Don't know why. Let's play again. Ooh, I think I know. Would this be it? Okay, so I think I got it. It's the hearts and then the club, so I guess a random club would go there?
You won.
Nice. Got a receipt. Text about Noah. The first animal came from the shore. It was afraid of the powerful waves. Okay. The second came from the valley. It was afraid of the river with the fast streams. The third came from the hills and was hiding from the downpour. The last one that Noah welcomed came down from the mountains. It wasn't afraid of water, but it heard the wrath of the Lord roaring. I remember there was one final game that we had to play, which was this one in the corner, right? We were saying
must enter Noah's Ark in the proper order.
You see, this is the one. You see, the first animal came from the shore. It was afraid of the powerful waves, right? So that must be some kind of sea creature. The second came from the valley. It was afraid of the river with fast streams. So that's a different one. Third came from the hills, hiding from the downpour. And then the last one came from the mountains, etc., etc. So I think it's the crab that went in first, right? And then it's the one that came from the valley, river with fast streams. Which one is that? Was that the deer, I think? The bear, because that was the one we saw in the painting. No, I don't know the rest. And then the bird? I think that's it.
It is elementary.
Alright.
Someone tried to force this save.
My dear friend, as I told you during my last visit, the difficulties between Grimble and my nephew have taken a critical turn. It seems that this ungrateful young man has gained the upper hand, and if he doesn't complain anymore, the foreman and some of the workers are doing it for him. Would you kindly tutor him in his studies so far from the city? I think in your company he would find real value and would return to the right path. Melvin Bromsby. Okay. The court returned a verdict of guilty for Mr. Miller and Mr. Kirby as accessories in the accidental death of Lois Gastigliotti have been sentenced to 3 years of hard labor. The court returned a verdict of guilty for Mr. Miller, Simpson, Kirby, and Collins for the charges of robbery. Caracas, Venezuela, in 1899. Okay, someone from Venezuela, so maybe those cigarettes are coming from this person. Mr. Fowlett, I have personally welcomed the nephew of your friend. Mr. Y. Collins doesn't seem to be a bad fellow at first glance, but I think he needs a firm hand. He was hired as a superior for the copper mines near the border. British Embassy in Brazil. Okay, so this is connecting the dots a little of where the cigarette came from. This subject, Y. Collins, was arrested by Brazilian authorities in the region of Guacayamo. Mr. Fowlett, notice is hereby given that Mr. Y. Collins was discharged. As you were earlier informed, Mr. Collins had been enjoying a half-free order for the past 10 9 months due to his good behavior and the influence of the prison warden at Guacayamo, who is a former soldier of Her Majesty's Army. Under the former conditions of his sentence, Mr. Collins was required to remain within the territory. Hereinafter he is free to leave the country. Draft of Sir Bromsby's will. This is interesting. The will is to be written in favor of Herman Grimble. In the event that Miss Lavinia should marry before the death of Mr. Grimble, then she and her husband would exercise control over Bromsby assets to the prejudice of Mr. Grimble. I shared with you earlier the boasts of my nephew when he was employed at the cement factory and the accusations he has raised against Grimble. So this guy was feeling pressure from the nephew and Grimble, right? Because Grimble has power over all of Bromsby's assets once he dies. So maybe there was some kind of dirt between them. 11221112111112221. This seems to be binary. No, that's not binary because binary is 0 and 1. So this must be some kind of sequence that we have to work with soon. Alright, sounds good.
Holmes, Murray has just found a key in the garden.
So, who's
Holmes,
this?
Murray has just found a key in the garden.
Okay, we heard this.
Should be done quickly.
In the garden. So here? Alright, let's measure. Must be size 7s.
Footsteps. Size
Size 10. Hello. So there's someone else who tried to get in. Surely this key works on this door. Because there's no other place that I can think of this key working. Oh god, it's a storeroom full of rats.
Watson, over here.
My God, this man is dead, Holmes.
Brilliant.
Oh, there's a dead guy. Oh
Thought
god.
perhaps he was tired and decided to rest under a pile of potatoes, which in turn fractured his skull. Watson, you see everything, but fail to observe. I do not have time for trifles.
Wow.
Oh, really, Holmes? You go too far.
Watson, tell Constable Fletcher to contact Lestrade with all haste. Now, I'd like to look around the house.
You already
I
did.
see.
That's what we did this whole time, mate.
Size 6.
Oh dear. There's a piece of paper on the floor, by the way.
I recognize this handwriting.
Wait, what is this? Oh, wait, this is the
This
same.
handwriting is identical to the writing on Monsieur de la Mazardiere's visiting card.
Osvaldo Eusebia de la Vega Antiquaire, Tristan de Cunha, Lisboa. So this is Portugal, Lisbon.
The station master assured me he clearly saw Mr. Fowlett board the last train to London. But as Constable Fletcher can attest, the body in the cellar is without question that of Horace Fowlett.
I fear if we do not act promptly and with all haste, this second dead body will not be the last. Let us return to Baker Street.
Did Horace Fowlett receive a collar the evening he was supposed to leave? That's a yes, because remember he talked about the guy, the farmer next door, talked about he had a fellow with him. Where is it? Destination. A fellow came to talk to him about something, so we're going to use him as evidence. So I think that's right. Question 2. Were all of the guests in the ballroom at the time of the shooting? This is a yes from the Scotland Yard. Let's take a look at the notes. Where's the Scotland Yard? Yeah, that anyone who had left the ballroom had returned before Sir Bromsby's entrance. So this kind of pretty much shows that everyone was in the ballroom at the time of the crime. Did Sir Bromsby and his daughter have a good relationship? And that's a no, because it's soured towards the end, right? Okay, yeah, this one, right? Strained relationship. They had a bad relationship, so this should surely go there. Was Horace Fowlett aware of the problems between Herman Grimble and Sir Bromsby? Wasn't there a letter about it? Okay, here we go. Raised against Grimble. There's some dispute between them, so yes, that's the evidence for that, I believe. And then question 5, was there anything missing from Horace Fowlett's house? Yes, there was something missing, remember? I was like, that's a bit of an odd thing to look at. There's a pillow missing, no? Bed was made, but the pillow was missing. And then did somebody enter through the window at Fowlett's house? Yes, because we did find shoe size print 10. And then no bars is kept closed with a screwdriver, so let's do that. That's it, right? Okay. That's close.
Simplicity itself, Watson. We have answered all the
Okay,
questions.
that's good. We made progress. Progress. So we're gonna examine the evidence, but just letting you know, it's the 16th today, but it says 16th here when we talked to him yesterday on the 15th. That's why I thought that was a bit weird. That should be the 15th. So I'm finding all these errors in the game, man, already. So let's
examine the evidence acquired.
Examine the wooden trinket,
substance from Fowler's
wash hand,
stand, and the gloves I found at Sherringford Hall.
the magnifying glass,
A very fine white cotton.
fine white cotton. Okay,
Let's
this
examine it under the microscope.
under the microscope.
Substance. Very interesting. Let me study this more closely.
Let's use the magnifying
I recognize
glass.
the style of this trinket.
Ayo, that was simple. What's with the piano entrance? Who are
I could
you?
not wait for you much longer.
Okay, I think we get to play this part now, right? Play Watson's investigation bit. Interesting. Let's get more information about the Fowlet.
Do you see him often?
No, I don't know him that well, because he didn't travel very often. I didn't think it was a good opportunity to make his acquaintance, but he wasn't able to say more than a few words without suffering a sudden coughing fit. It seemed he was travelling to the north. However, I cannot say with any certainty that he arrived there.
Was there anyone else on the platform?
Yes, there was a fellow. I could see his face beneath his cap, and for a second I thought he had a revolver in his pocket, but then I noticed that it was merely his hand. It was all done up with a large...
Okay, there we go. That's the
bandage and some
information we just received from
Where
Sherlock.
was he, exactly?
He stood in that corner over there, and Mr. Fowlet arrived a bit later. I heard the sound of his coughing for about 5 minutes after that. When the train arrived, they boarded the same carriage.
And where might I find this train carriage?
Why, right here. They always use the same carriages when they put together the night trains.
Aha! And
So
it
there
is.
must be
This
evidence
is
here.
most advantageous.
Anything here?
It
Is that
could be
something?
Evidence.
Okay, good. We collected something. It's a white feather. There's something on the floor.
Someone has forgotten their cap, and I believe that hairs on it are red.
Could be someone from the scene of the crime. Red hair, remember. Okay. Oh, there's something here. Hello.
A
Cigar?
cigarette.
Oh, the same cigarette.
was found at Sherringford Hall.
Okay. Very interesting. Oh, that's it. That's all the evidence we need to find.
What
Nice.
can we do for you today, Mr. Holmes?
Come near, Wiggins. Mind you look sharp. There'll be an extra guinea for the lad that finds him. Have you ever met Wyatt Collins?
The nephew of the late Sir Bromsby? Oh, I have seen him just a few times since I was hired at Sherringford Hall. He stopped visiting the hall because of a quarrel with his uncle, I think.
Okay, he has a
How would
quarrel.
you describe him?
He was a very tall and slender young man.
Red hair.
Bright red hair. He's not well...
Red hair. Could be him. It's slowly pushing that way.
Lestrade.
He is with Miss Bromsby and Lieutenant Harrington in Sir Bromsby's office. He's waiting for you.
Okay, she's cleaning again. Let's ask her. Talk to her a bit.
Do you remember Wyatt Collins?
Oh, he's a black sheep, that one is. He had a bad habit of stealing from the wine cellar at night. Then he was so saucy, he tried to pin it on the staff the next day.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
So you weren't fond of him, on the whole?
He spoke ill of everyone. Why, I recall the day our master tossed him howling into the street because the blackguard dared to slander Mr. Grimble.
Here we go into the
Well,
office.
It's not too early. I've just informed Miss Bromsby about Mr. Fowlet. Besides, I told her about the notes that suggested Sir Bromsby's wish to amend his will in favour of Mr. Grimble. According to our solicitors, this new development does complicate the succession. Let's hope Mr. Bromsby's safe contains an official document which will allow us to see things more clearly. I do hope you've discovered the code, because I did not sleep well last night and I'm in no mood for riddles.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, this is stupid. Absolutely stupid. Oh, I heard a click. Yeah, this is it then.
It is simplicity itself.
Oh, it's absolutely stupid. Okay, so how you solve this is it's going to be 3 1s, 2 2s, and 1 1. So that's 3 1, 2 2, 1 1. Absolute stupidity. It's not simplicity, Sherlock. It's just stupidity. Okay,
What could this key open?
we're just gonna. It's this bit.
I have no interest in this.
Hey.
I have no interest in
Alright,
this.
fine. Abandon all thoughts about the Fairfax Theatre and the soil on which it stands. You conduct yourself as a Brissard, and the Brissard Brissons always come to a bad end. Who's this? Dwight Richards has the handwriting of a 2-year-old. Money transfers. Grimble has signed off on everything. Beneficiary ends and at Deutschland. You forgot an S in there. Okay, so this is
I have a feeling
information.
that I should inspect this Fairfax Theatre.
But what are we doing at this place? And why did you ask Lestrade to call Herman Grimble to Sherringford Hall?
To ensure Grimble would not find us here.
Say nothing more. Here's the key for the office. It's the building just
Ooh,
to the right
we got
after
the-
the entrance. The building's in
Okay.
the centre of the workers' cloakrooms. I don't think you'll find much to interest you there. Further in the yard, there's the storehouse for raw material.
Nice.
Do
Key.
you also have the key to the former Fairfax Theatre?
No, I don't have that key. The only key I know of was given to Mr. Grimble when the building was bought.
Okay, so we have to go here. Okay, and then we use this office key on here shortly. Anything of interest here? Okay, we're going upstairs then.
They must have never cleaned here before.
Okay, we're inside. Oh, there's some images here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is this?
Photographs of several completed projects of
Interesting.
Bromsby Enterprises.
Okay.
Let's have a closer look.
Oh, you want me to whip out a magnifying glass just for this?
It is young Grimble, and there are visible signs of family resemblance between the two men.
So this is young Grimble. Grimble and an unknown person in front of Waters and Grimble. So that's the W&G from the money transfers, right? You can see W&G Enterprises in Bombay. There's something on the floor here. I nearly missed that. That was so tiny. It looks like a
This
key.
reminds me of another.
Goblets bunch. Maybe there's something to this bridge.
What a beautiful model.
Oh, there's another set of doors on the other side. Let's see if the key works
Closed.
here. Okay, so this is the office Grimble key maybe? Nice, okay.
This is a veritable museum.
Maybe this elephant statue looking thing?
I'll examine this statue of Ganesh.
Ganesh. Oh. Way.
Bromsby.
Okay, that was a secret. Oh, checking the...
Closed.
Maybe something with this.
Closed.
Okay, now what about this?
Closed.
There's something underneath the tiger here. Let's see.
Is there anything under this tiger?
Yes, clearly you can see something poking out there.
This
Let's read it.
writing is very hesitant and jittery.
Okay. Don't be stupid, Grimble. Accept my conditions. Unless you do, be assured that I will tell everything I know to anyone within earshot at Sherringford Hall. What about a painting? Interactable. Aha! Maybe this is the key. Marvelous. Let's read these pieces of papers. Account book. Account March. We got Bromsby and Grimble signing off on things. 13th of March. Italy, France. These seem to be usuals. Yeah. Okay, so we've got more information here. First, the final thing we can do is put down the statue of Sir Bromsby down. Maybe that'll release something. Seems like there's a key. Maybe that's the key. Yes, it is indeed.
Grimble will know that his drawer was opened if I take this key.
Okay.
I can't keep these documents.
Read it then. Melvin, you must pay. Collins. Okay, so there's threat from Collins. He was deprived of the career he truly deserved. His repeated disagreements with his superiors during the construction of the bridge over Kalidissa Abyss adversely affected his subsequent postings. Okay, so there's something about the bridge which we saw earlier was a project of the Bromsby and Grimble kind of like enterprise.
Hurry, Holmes! I see someone coming.
One moment.
Okay.
I must take care that everything appears undisturbed. Ah, it would seem that the army has arrived. In time to settle our quarrel.
Okay, so it's a soldier. Harrington, maybe?
Well, frankly speaking, I came with the hope that I could learn something of your progress on the case. It seems my unguarded and devoted attentions towards Miss Bromsby during her troubled days have left no doubt as to my true feeling for her. Inspector Lestrade has intimated that the court may consider my testimony to be tainted by my affections, thus my evidence disregarded. What is worse, I could even be accused of giving false evidence. That is why I have come to see you, Mr. Holmes. If I must seem to abandon her to save her honour and her life, then I will leave. Even if it means the absolute destruction of our happiness. Could you intervene so that I will not be brought to this terrible choice? I will be eternally in your debt.
However, I can give you this advice. Abandoning Miss Bromsby will do her case no good, even if her appearance in the dock proves unavoidable.
We got him, Mr. Holmes. He was going into the Bromsby cement works.
What did you say, Wiggins?
The man you're looking for went into the Bromsby cement works, mister, to the rear entrance. It was at night. Stapleton spotted him clear as day. Isn't that right, Stapleton?
Here is your money, and your extra guinea as promised. Well earned, lads. Bravo, Stapleton.
This brave young soldier is in total despair and broke down in tears in these very rooms. But the great Sherlock Holmes could not give him a farthing of hope or compassion. No, on the contrary, the great Holmes assures him...
Yeah, it builds character. He'll be fine.
I must return to that place. Are you with me?
The Bromsby Cement Works, of course.
Alright, so we're heading over to the cement works at night, trying to solve this case once and for all. But of course, that is going to happen in the next episode, because I think we played a good amount of the game. I think we're halfway through about, we'll see. But we're going to head on into the cement works in the next episode to see who this guy is that is sneaking into this place and trying to pinpoint to who has killed Mr. Bromsby. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe using the red button down below, and hit the notification bell as well. 62% of you are not subscribed, as I said earlier, so please do consider subscribing and liking this video, because it is free after all, and we will continue this journey in the next episode. So thank you guys once again for stopping by this channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care.